What's up, everybody? Back with the second character breakdown, and this time we're gonna go over Super Saiyan Blue or SSGSS Gogeta. While I don't think this character is as good as Broly is, he has some potential. So let's start out pretty simple. Here's all squares, pretty nice little combo, leads into a knockback, which you can set up for your other super attacks. Here's all triangles. This one will give you a knockdown, which you could follow up with a ki blast and pursue right away. Now we're gonna mix it up with square, triangle, square, triangle, square, repeat the pattern. You get it, all right? Does that little neat combo, a little bit disrespectful. Let's see one more time. All right, up next is another pretty cool combo. It's a few squares. I think that's 5 squares into all triangles. Leads into this cool little combo here. I followed this up with Spirit Blaster, although I don't think that was the optimal decision here. This might not even be the best Gogeta moveset, but this is the only one that includes all of the new attacks. Overall, I just think Gogeta's a lot more technical than Broly is, so he's going to be a lot harder to use, but whether he's going to be like a good character or not, I think we'll need more time to figure that out. Up next is his stamina break. It's pretty simple. It's all squares until you get this little up kick, bam. But the only sad part about this whole stamina break is I couldn't figure out the heavy stamina break. I tried it with the same combo here, but he just rolled out. So I'm sure it'll be discovered later. Up next, we're going to display his grab. Now, it's kind of interesting because at first glance, it seems kind of lackluster, but it has a unique trait to it to where you can actually follow it up with a combo, which I will display right here. The reason why that's going to be pretty viable is normally with a grab situation, you kind of toss them away and then your combo is kind of dead. But this actually has a lot of potential to where if you have a guard heavy opponent, you can instantly get them in a combo and hopefully force them to vanish. All right, now let's jump into some of his super attacks, starting with Spirit Blaster, as you've seen a few times already. It does only a base of 2k damage, and that's when all of the blasts hit, which was kind of underwhelming to me. The main reason is the most viable time to use this attack is going to be after like a knockback or something, and in that case you're going to definitely miss some of the blasts, so it's going to do even less than 2k at that. It still looks cool, but I don't know, the damage, I don't know. You let me know what you think. Up next, we have Super Mad Dance. I mean, we've all seen this before. There's not really much to say about that. You guys know what that is. Pretty good. But it's time for his best move, which is going to be Punisher Shield. And there's many reasons why this is his best move. It's just so versatile, and it controls neutral very, very well. For starters, yes, it's called Punisher Shield for a reason. It's a counter attack, so if we get Broly to fire something at us, we can use this, and it will actually reflect, and you will follow up with a melee attack. And not only does it work against ki projectiles, but it can also be used offensively if you're right next to them, as you can see here. I mean, he had super armor right there, but you get the point. But it actually stays there for a little bit too, so that's why I said it can control neutral a little bit, because as long as you have that Punisher Shield up, that's kind of like a gray area where the opponent has to kind of watch out for, because as long as they hit it at any point in time, it actually will do damage to them. So now we're gonna actually get Broly to do an ultimate attack so we can, you know, see how this bad boy works against an ultimate. Spoiler alert, it does work, but you have to time it right. Let me show you an example of a fail timing. If you activate it a little too early, this might be due specifically to Broly's attack and the way it goes upwards, but if you time it correctly, you'll get the animation you want and will be able to counter an ultimate attack. So overall, yes, I think Punisher Shield is probably his best attack, but he has another attack we gotta look at too. Up next, we have Assault Vanish, which is very interesting and I think is going to be a little bit slept on. Well, I mean, it won't be slept on, but it's pretty damn good, all right? So literally, you just got to think of instant transmission, except it takes 1 stamina bar and 1 ki bar. Now, opinions may vary on whether or not that stamina bar is worth it, but in my personal opinion, I think it is, because the move is just so versatile. I mean, one, we can use it defensively, as you can see here, to get right behind them, and pretty much puts you in a position to counter attack. Another unique trait that it has is the longer you hold it down, the longer you're actually in this weird empty dimension or something like that. But it doesn't last forever, as you can see here. It does have a limit, but it's pretty nice. If you time it right, or if you double tap it, it'll actually appear behind them. So this is what I mean by its versatility. And I got smacked in the face right there. So up next, we're going to take a peek at some of his ultimates, starting with the new one. Well, I guess it's the most relevant one, which is going to be God Punisher. Yes, the move looks really cool, but to me, it might be a little overrated. I don't know, because the damage you get, while it's a little more than your standard ultimate, the amount of time it takes to actually pull off the move kind of makes the move suffer a little bit, in my personal opinion. The main reason I say that is because there's a lot of situations where you'll want to use your ultimate attack at the end of like a combo or something something, right? While your opponent presumably has their stamina broken. And by the time you're in the middle of that ultimate attack, assuming you started it with a combo, your opponent will probably have gotten their stamina back and be able to kind of break out of it or whatever. But I could be wrong. Something I do have to keep in mind is Broly was recovering his stamina a lot faster because of his Super Soul, but you guys get the point. There might be some concerns, but I generally don't like ultimates that have a bunch of different key projectiles anyway. I find ultimates that have immediate impact, like Super Kamehameha, Final Flash, or even Broly's new ultimate that just hit right away to not give your opponent the chance to break out. I find those a little bit better, but that's just my opinion. While Super Kamehameha may seem like a copy and paste move, this is different. As you can see, Gogeta has absorbed the Super Kamehameha. I don't know where they got this reference from, but it is so cool, and we were caught so off guard when we initially saw this. But then I was interested to see what it did, and as you can see, the damage has increased. And that's ultimately what you're getting out of this. It's a power-up for Gogeta's attacks. I could also foresee some type of versatility with it if you use it as like a fake out to get your opponent next to you, or I don't know, something like that. So just to display the power-up more in full, we're going to show that ultimate one more time without the Super Kamehameha boost. Now it's just a matter of deciding whether or not it's worth it to burn the 3 key bars to use Super Kamehameha just to get the power boost of this. I think it'll be pretty situational. Like if you get a heavy stamina break on somebody and you want to just get a power boost really quick, you could do it like this, but I don't know. I think each player will differ. While Gogeta isn't as easy to use as Broly, I do think he has a lot of potential in my personal opinion. He's a pretty cool character overall, and I think he does have some potential for those who are willing to actually give him the time of day. Also, for those who are curious if the power boost worked on like melee attacks, we will test that right here. Did 2.3k damage without the power boost. We'll try it again with the power boost, and the same combo does 3,000 damage. So yes, it is a buff to all of Gogeta's attacks, which again could be useful, especially if it's coupled with like a limit burst or something like that. So while I do think people's initial reaction to Gogeta, at least compared to Broly, is gonna be like, oh, he's so bad, I think once he's given enough time, people will figure some stuff out about him that they'll like. Though I don't think he's as good as his Super Saiyan counterpart. He does have some, again, potential. I know I've used that word a million times, but it's one of those things that I don't think we'll truly understand what he's capable of until we see him in the online environment, assuming the stuff works in the online environment. That's going to wrap up this breakdown for Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Gogeta. I hope you guys enjoyed. I think this character has a lot of potential to the person who gives him the time of day. He is not going to be as easy as Broly, but who says that the good players want an easy player the character to play as, alright? At least I don't. I like to challenge myself, which is kind of sad because I wanted to use Broly, but now I'm going to feel bad if I use Broly, but whatever. We'll see what happens. If you guys enjoyed, my name is Deion. I'm known as SeeReax on YouTube. We're trying to hit 200k subscribers before the end of this year. I know we can do it. Share this all over the place. Subscribe if you ain't, and I will see you guys in the next one. Waba!
And with that, I just have 2 more words to say.